What's up, y'all? It's Truth Tiger, and today I'm going to talk about feeling like a stray dog. And that's the way I feel a lot of the times, and I think a lot of you guys could probably relate to what I'm saying. And it starts in childhood when you don't really have a family that's really looking out for you, that understands you, that is connecting to you, and they're ultimately not really a source of positivity. It's kind of this trap that you need to get out of, but you don't really know you have to get out of it until it kind of becomes too much, or until they disappear, or until a bunch of drama happens and you have to cut them out. Whatever it is, it's like you had this family that was not really there for you, and when you were a child, and when you were weak, and when you were vulnerable, and when you needed protection and reassurance and help being taught, and development and all that kind of stuff you need as a kid, they were not doing it for you. They saw you as a means to an end. They saw you as a way for themselves to get attention. They saw you as someone, for them to have their social status boosted in the community. They want you to get good grades, whatever. They could have seen you as someone for them to just take their anger out on. And ultimately, they saw you as like, oh man, I have to take care of this kid. Oh man, I have to be an adult. Oh man, I have to love my child. Oh, that's work. That's work. I don't want to do that. And that's how a lot of parents are. And that's how, I would say probably the majority of families are. They don't really care about their kids. They don't really want to take care of their kids. And they see their children as a means to an end. And in a lot of cases, a lot of parents will treat their kids horribly. And it's more common than you think. It's just the truth of it. And, they also, they'll throw you into the system. And they'll throw you into the grinding gears of the system with no help, no protection. And, they can make a lot of really bad decisions that will affect your future, affect your adult life, and will just do stuff where you're like, man, why would you do that for me, It's like they do everything they can to sabotage your future and to, have you have the worst foot forward going into life, not teaching you, not guiding you, not helping you, not making decisions that will be good for your future. It's the bottom line. And, this can leave you with a feeling like you don't even have a family, even if you do have one. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't even have families. That's pretty common too. But it can leave you with a feeling that you don't even have a family, and that you don't have any parents or anyone looking out for you, or anyone having your back or anything. Because I had parents, I had siblings and stuff, but it always felt like it was some weird power struggle and some fight against the parents, or some fight against the siblings. I mean, from the time I was a little kid, my own siblings didn't even get along with me very well, and I didn't trust them, and they didn't trust me, and I'm the youngest, and they're all jealous of me and weird. And from the time I was a small baby, I was having to deal with this. And the thing is, this stuff starts when you're a small baby. This stuff starts when you're at a very young, very vulnerable age. It does. And it'll put complexes into you. It'll put complexes into you that you are unlovable. It'll put complexes into you that you have to fight for everything and fight for every inch, It'll put all these bad complexes into you. Bad complexes that you have to please people and always be happy and funny and nice and make everybody happy, even if that's not how you really feel. Complexes that you can't even be yourself, and you just have to conform super hard, or else you will be rejected, or else you'll be thrown to the side. And, all kinds of bad complexes will start to form within you. And in a lot of ways, you could also look at your family and realize, for me at least, I feel like more bad stuff fell on me than some of my siblings. I mean, bad stuff fell on all of us. And, it could be different depending on your family, but I feel like me in particular, because there was some impetus of love and kindness and truth and doing the right thing, they kind of took that as an excuse to be like, well, we don't have to give him any attention. He's fine. We don't have to do anything for him, help him out, whatever. It could just be being the youngest, whatever. My parents are older and stuff. I don't know. But I felt like there was this sense of where I was especially counted out at a young age, and a lot of us have that in our families where we've been like pigeonholed, and we have been, I mean, it's bad stuff all around. It's bad stuff to everybody, but that's kind of how I feel. Like they all really kind of especially piled onto me in not a good way when I was at a very young age, and the community I was around was negative. It wasn't good, and I felt trapped. I didn't feel like I could be free at all. I did not feel like I could be who I want to be at all. I did not feel like I could express myself. I just felt trapped and stuck, and I felt like I felt very like controlled. And I think in a lot of families, it's either they're super sheltering and super controlling and super like, we're not gonna let you outside, or it's just like there's no structure, no rules, and you're freaking running around when you're 8 years old or whatever. I was more on the side where they're super, if you go out, you could step on a stick and hurt yourself and whatever. Separate video, but you're gonna have one of those two things where you're either so sheltered and so like you feel like these people are just like attached to you, like sewn onto you, or it's just like there's no structure whatsoever and you're just running around doing God knows what. And both of those are not good, and both of those will lead you a feeling of like just you're like a stray dog, and in my case it's like I had to get out. I had to get away from it. It was too much control, too much sheltering, too much just too much of these people just trying to basically extract attention from me and trying to freaking suck the life out of me. It was just too much of that. Way too much of that. And it was something that I had to get away from. And it did not make me feel loved or protected at all. It made me feel like they didn't want to have to be parents. So if they could just keep you locked down, keep you locked in your little cage, you're safe, and they don't have to be responsible. Someone who's like a really bad dog owner will just lock their dog in a cage all day and just whatever. I don't want to have to walk him. I don't want to have to clean up his after him. Just lock him in the cage all day, and yeah, he's barking and acting all crazy and angry, and well, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen to that? But that's kind of the parenting mentality they have. Or you have some people that just like, just let my dog run in the street. Maybe he'll get hit by a car. I don't care, And either way, it's just going to lead to like you not being well adjusted, not understanding society, not understanding social norms, not understanding what other people expect of you, and just, it's just like you're out on your own weird thing. And that's really how you feel. You're just adrift, just kind of really by yourself. And it's like, man, it's not a comforting feeling, and especially not when you're like a very little kid. It's very uncomforting. You feel very isolated. I mean, both those kinds of things are going to lead to like big feelings of isolation and big feelings like it's just you and you don't have anybody else. And because that's kind of the truth, is it's like a lot of us probably had to go through very isolating things which made us feel like we were not connected to the people around us. And the thing also is that like, we're fundamentally different too. Like if you're someone watching this and you really have love in your heart, it's like you're fundamentally different from the rest of the world. The rest of the world runs on hatred, and they're all these like weird bratty people, and they're bratty little kids, and they grow up to be these bratty adults, and they're these haters, and just that's how most people are. Weird, angry haters, and they're looking for someone to reject or someone to project their problems onto, or just looking to complain and be negative. And because we don't fit in with that, those people pushed us to the outside as adults and as little kids. They're like, oh, you're not some awful, nasty little brat. You can't play with us, and all right, and that's kind of what it is, because we're not these weird, entitled, spoiled brats. We have perspective, humility, whatever, and when most other people are very, like these spoiled brats, and they're all like, up their own butts, it's like you can't fit with that. You can't mix with that. And, all these factors leads to us being very kind of isolated, kind of just by ourselves, kind of to ourselves. And, there's things you got to be careful of when you're like that. And when you reach the phase of adulthood, maybe in your 20s or 30s, somewhere around then, you're going to maybe look for like a new community, a new family. It could happen younger, it could happen older, but generally I think that's around the age, like your 20s or 30s, when you start to seek those things. And, in the back of your mind, it's like, even if you're still talking to your family, they're not really there for you like that. And, it's like, even from the time you're a little kid, it's like I never really saw my family as like my family. I just sort of saw them as these people that I lived with and that I was kind of around. And there was kind of all this guilt and shame that I got to be in touch with them and whatever. And, they're these authority figures. And I never really like saw it as like, oh, these are my family and I'm connected to them. It's just kind of like, it's kind of these people I'm just kind of around. I never really felt that connection to them. But back to my point, it's like, you're going to sort of seek, a new family, a different family. And you got to be very careful of that. The mafia, I think mafia actually means family. And they go, hey, we're family here, So you got to be careful like that, because maybe some people at work, oh, we're a family here at so-and-so corporation. Or you get involved with some religion or some new age spiritual practice or some political activist people, or you get involved with something that seems like it's your new family, and be very careful of that. You could meet some people, oh, we're going to be your new family. Be very careful with that, because those people who are trying to like be your new family, they are not doing it out of the kindness of their heart. They're not doing it from a place of love. Maybe some of them are, but most of the time, those people are looking to take advantage, be weird, get supply out of you, take up your time, your energy, judge you, control you. Those kind of people who are, oh, we're going to be your new family. Run the other way. Run the other way. And if you happen to meet good friends and, those people are cool and stuff, that could be like a new family to you, but generally don't seek to replace your old family with any kind of new family. That can lead to a lot of problems, and a lot of people end up very hurt and very broken, and people end up in cults, and people end up in very bad marriages and bad relationships. And another one, the in-laws. We're your new family. Be careful of that. Be very, very careful of that. If you do find people that are like a new family to you, they probably won't announce it very loudly. It'll probably happen slowly but surely, and you'll probably get a good sense that they're solid people slowly but surely over time. Whereas there's going to be like, it's like these people want to just come and insert themselves into your life. And they're very like opportunistic, and they see you and, oh, we'll come be a part of your life. You'll be a part of our life. And the reason they're doing that is they're looking to get attention. They're looking to get supply. They're just looking to drain you, because along with that comes criticism, and they're asking for all these favors, and they're trying to get you to do this and that, and they're trying to guilt trip you, and they got all these weird friends and weird drama, and before you know it, you realize these people are just trying to use you. And a lot of them are users. They're just trying to use you and take advantage and stuff. And, the whole new family thing, be very careful of that. Be very careful of that. It's playing upon your emotions. It's playing upon your want for a family that you lacked when you were a child. And just don't with that. Don't with that. And those people know that. And even if they don't know it in their mind, they know it in their heart. And they're using that as a way to take advantage. So just don't with that. Do not with that. It'll put you in all kinds of silly scenarios. And you'll deal with silly issues. And you'll be around silly people. And you'll be around people that are trying to take advantage and be weird. And no. And the thing also, like, you'll kind of realize, like, your average person is not very good. Your average person could really put you through freaking hell. If you put too much trust in just some average schmo out there, and you look at that average schmo like as a brother or whatever, some schmoette as a sister, or you're looking at them parentally, or you're looking at them like they're your kids or some kind of thing like that, you could get really taken advantage of bad, People, oh, you're like a father to me, you're like a son to me, you're like my big brother, you're like my little brother, you're like my this, you're like my uncle. Be careful of that. Be very careful of all that, because that could get weird fast. that can get very weird fast. So just don't with all that. And yeah, but the thing is like all these other people, they're like attached to all this stuff societally, and being attached to all that stuff societally is not good, because it's like society wants you to be neutered. Society does not want you to be dangerous or sharp or clever or thinking for yourself or standing on your own 2 feet or displaying dominance or strength or power or anything like that. So it's like there's kind of a good silver lining that you get to actually like be yourself and be your own person, and you don't have to conform, and you get to keep your cojones, you get to keep your nuts, you know? You don't got to lose them like the rest of everybody else, because they all have to conform to society and be this like person that's going to make society happy. And, you know, most people are not really themselves. They are, you know, their whole personality is just like external things. And all these external things have molded them into someone who will be like this soft, non-threatening, like marshmallow. And it's like, you know what? I'm okay with being dangerous. I can be dangerous when I need to be. I don't want to be some soft, medicated, whatever, marshmallow. And that's what happens with these people. They get medicated, they eat bad food, they're just whatever. They just end up being this just soft freaking marshmallow who cannot stand up for themselves, who will let people take advantage, who's just not going to say no. And that's how most people are. And, you know, if you're being that stray, it's a big advantage. You know, it really is, because you don't have to have that happen. And you start to realize you can survive on your own, you know. I can take down a freaking deer. I got teeth. I can take down a deer. You go out there or whatever, you meet some wolves, some other stray dogs, some coyotes, some foxes, some stray cats, whatever. You get a little crew together. You start hunting. You start taking down deer. You start living. You start realizing, hey, this is a lot more fun than just like being in the freaking cage all day. And the thing is, the cage is safe. The cage is safe, but the cage keeps you confined and trapped. And the thing is, the cage is not going to be safe in the end of the day. When they lock you in there and stop feeding you and stop letting you out and stop giving you places to go to the bathroom, that cage becomes something you have to get out of. You have to get out of that cage and figure out how to take care of yourself, how to feed yourself, how to get shelter, whatever, all that good stuff. And you're not really having much guidance for it, but you just got to find your way. And that's what it is. And the thing is, there's great power in this. Like I said before, there's great power in this. You get to stay yourself. You get to forge your own path. You get to forge your own destiny. And there's going to be some losers along the way. You're a stray. That's illegal. That's bad. We got to get them off the street. We got to put a chip in him. Well, you know. And you duck and dodge those people. Bite them if you have to. Whatever. Just get them away from you. Don't deal with them. And the thing about those people, when you look at them in the eye and you bark and you growl, it's different. And most of the time, they will run away with their freaking tail between their legs, because they have been neutered and they do not have any danger, any power to them. And the only power they have is to tell the teacher, tell the authority figure. That's the only power they have. And there's going to be these people that are going to just try to do that, and they're going to see you just out and about enjoying your life, and they're going to, what? He's just there enjoying his life and he's not attached to any societal bullshit? Exactly. Yeah. You know? And the thing is, people look for a home in societal bullshit. They look for a family in societal BS. They look for a family in like politics. They look for a family in all this stuff. All this societal BS in the education system, whatever. And they think that they have a family and a home in this. And it's like, that house is going to catch fire. And they're all just going to stay inside because they're too afraid of what's out there. That's the real truth. The house is going to be burning down, and they ain't going to leave. And they're going to burn inside of it. That's the truth. That house is going to fall down on top of all of them. And they're going to be in their little cages. Oh, we were good. We stayed in our cage. Not going to matter. Not going to freaking matter. like for real. And one thing also is like self-pity is poison. Self-pity is poison. If you're, oh, I'm a poor stray dog, nobody's feeding me, blah, that's poison. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go freaking knock that dumpster over, get some food out of it. There's a little bird. I'll jump on that bird, eat that bird, whatever, catch a squirrel slipping. I'm gonna do it. I don't care. I'm gonna go to the park. There's a bunch of Canadian geese. Those things are pretty big. They got a lot of meat on them. I'm a dog. I got some teeth. I'm gonna rip one of those freaking things apart and I'm about to eat. I don't care. You know, once you start doing that, you be more like a wild animal. There's a lot of strength in that. And you realize you can take care of yourself, you can feed yourself, you can survive, you know, like for real. For real, for real. And, you know, I do want to end this with a Bible quote where Jesus says, you know, foxes have holes, birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head. You know, what he's really saying there is like, I'm not connected to my family. I'm not connected to societal institutions. I don't have anything I could really, like, freaking connect myself to. I don't have anything that's connected to me, really. And I'm not connected to anything. And there's definitely a feeling of, like, you feel like a freaking stray dog out there. Like you got no home. You know, like for real. And, I mean, that's just what it is. I gotta make a turn here, but a guy's just right in my lane. I gotta stop and then move over, get behind him, and I got the sun in my eyes. But yeah, you know, if you're really on the path of truth and you're not putting up with people's BS and you've had to go through, you know, drama and trauma and stuff, you're gonna feel like a stray dog. You are, but make the best of it, survive, and realize that you have a strength, a unique strength that, you know, all these people who are staying domesticated do not have. And that's the ability to think for yourself, stand up for yourself, see yourself as an individual, and, you know, just live your life. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you all so much for watching. Much love, God bless, and I will see you all next time.